Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial in which we're going to be looking at an example 5-mark question on the role of the Law Commission. Now this particular 5-marker is taken from the EDUCAS A-level exam specification. However, this video will still be useful if you're with OCR or AQA because all exam boards will expect you to know about the Law Commission and what their role is, but it may be that if you're with a different board, your question may be worth a different number of marks, so you just need to check on that. But obviously everything I'm going to say about the Law Commission is relevant to you whichever board you're with, so please stay with me. So as a reminder then, the Law Commission is the statutory independent body that was created by the Law Commissions Act in 1965 to keep the law of England and Wales under review and to recommend reform where it's needed. And the aim of the Law Commission is to ensure that the law is fair, simple, modern and cost effective. Now, if you've not already done so, I do recommend you visit the Law Commission's website because it's a really useful resource for finding out lots of information about who the Law Commission is and some of their successes, changes to the law that have come about because of recommendations that they've made. And actually at the moment they've got a lovely 3-minute video clip on their website because they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. And that video clip outlines some of their biggest successes. So that would be really useful for you if you're revising the law on the Law Commission. But what the website also has, which is really useful, is a list of all the areas of law that they're currently reviewing. Now I've taken a screenshot here of an area that I'm particularly interested in. And in November 2023, the Law Commission announced that they're reviewing the partial defences to murder in domestic homicide cases. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, you may be able to find more recent examples than this, or examples that particularly appeal to you. But I find this area of law fascinating. You may not be aware, but the partial defence of provocation that existed years ago was replaced by the partial defence of loss of control. And the reason for that was provocation operated in quite a sexist way in how it worked for male and female defendants. So women who typically experience a slow burn reaction to domestic violence were not able to plead the defence successfully compared to men who typically experience more of a sudden snap. And there's lots of concerns actually that the defence or the partial defence of loss of control still operates in a way that favours male defendants over female defendants. So the Law Commission are reviewing that defence and those defences at the moment. So I'll be paying close attention to what their recommendations are to that. But the reason I'm showing you this is it's really nice in an exam question to give some examples of current things that the Law Commission is doing and is recommending. And even if you don't include it in a Law Commission question, you can see how this might be really relevant to other exam questions. So if you're doing an evaluation essay on the defence of loss of control, you could certainly include this, the fact that the Law Commission are reviewing it, and perhaps look at their paper and look at some of the criticisms they've made, because that will help you with other areas as well. So with that being said, let's have a look at the 5-mark question and how we would go about tackling it. So the 5-mark question that I've got is to explain the purpose of the Law Commission. And as I said at the beginning, just check how many marks you will be allocated for a question on the Law Commission on your English legal system paper. So these are some of the key points that I would make, and I would expand them if my question was worth more marks. But you would certainly need to say that the Law Commission were created under the Law Commission Act of 1965 and that they're an independent body charged with keeping the law under review, recommending reform where it's needed, and that they're aiming to ensure that the law is fair, modern, simple and effective. And they have a duty to keep the law under review with the aim of developing it, reforming it, and they can do that in a few different ways: through codification, through consolidation, and through simplification and modernisation, and the repeal of obsolete acts. And it's nice to give some examples here. So an example where the Law Commission has used consolidation, i.e. to put lots of piecemeal bits of law into one convenient place, is the Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984. The Law Commission have also recommended codifying all of the criminal law, so that's a really big, ambitious project, into the draft criminal code, but of course that's not been acted on, certainly not as of yet. And it's also nice to give some examples of where the Law Commission has been successful. And as I mentioned previously, you can get some lovely examples from the Law Commission's website. I've just provided a few examples in this turquoise colour here. So some of their recommendations have included the Criminal Attempts Act, the Unfair Contract Terms Act and the Criminal Justice and Courts Act. And as I mentioned previously, it's nice to give some current reviews that they're doing. So I would also talk about the fact that they're currently reviewing the law on domestic homicide. It's also good to put that the Law Commission Act compels the government to give reasons why it hasn't implemented any proposal, but since the 1980s, very few proposals have actually been enacted because of a lack of parliamentary time. And to date, more than 20 of its reports haven't been implemented. So balance some of those successes with the fact that not all of the proposals are going to be taken up